Alright, welcome back to the Improv Kitchen, everybody. Today we're going to do a fancy little biscuit that a crustacean serving restaurant has made popular. But we're not going to get sued, so we're going to call these Pink Crabsters Cheesy K Crumbly Bums. And for those of you who don't know what a K is a low bank or reef of coral, rock, or sand. I went over the basic ingredients right here by scanning over it. I did not use duck fat or sour cream. Replace that with salt and pepper, which sounds weird. But anyways, that's the ingredient list right there. I use 2 tablespoons of baking powder as opposed to the recommended 4 teaspoons, which is only 2 teaspoons more. But I assure you, everything came out fantastic. So let's get to it. As you can see, I put some cheese, 1.5 cups of the 2.5 cups total of cheese into there, and then threw in the 4 ounces of cream cheese. And you throw that into the microwave for about, I think, a minute at most, just to get it a little melty. You just want it soft because you're going to be mixing it about. Right here is where I threw in some salt and pepper and the 2/3 cup of almond flour, and then here's where I made my huge mistake of adding 2 tablespoons. See, made another mistake, but this is improv. I can't go back now. This is what's happening. I threw that in there, and then I threw in the 2 eggs, which I let sit out for a while, which is okay because eggs don't go bad that fast, so don't worry about it, people. A while being like 2 hours, not 7 days, but you're going to then mix it around with a mixer that you just bought that day and have never used before, but I can assure you, as you can see, I am a professional at it. You're going to throw in that cheesy mixture until it becomes nice and gooey. It does eventually get to sort of a... Oh, you're gonna hit your camera a couple times. That's going to be important. You have to hit the camera at least 2 or 3 times because you're stupid. And then throw in the rest of the cheese there. And this is where it gets a little bit... yeah, I'm really bad at that. But just keep smashing it around there. It doesn't really look necessarily like dough. Well, kind of like dough. And then you mix it around with your actual physical arms instead of the mixer that's in there. But this yields 4 crumbly bums, which are 4.5 carbs total each, which is pretty dang good, especially given the size of these things. I used a spring form pan. I think that's what they call them. If that's not what they call them, then that's what they call them now. And I used, I believe, just 2 little scoopies to fill it up, and that was like, I think it's a half cup that you would want to use per biscuit of stuff. And then you take your little thing, you smash it in there. I mean, you can use gloves. It's probably a good idea because the stuff is really messy. But since it is coated, the pan just knocks the biscuit right out once you're done. You put it in there, and by there, I mean your oven, or what I used was my air fryer, yet again, because I love using my air fryer, and I put it on for 390 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 minutes. And then afterwards, they came out pretty dang good. I know a lot of people harp on the keto or low carb diet or whatever, but I have to do this. Whoop! Yeah. You want to miss your mark by about 5 inches and burn your fingers a little bit. But yes, a lot of people harp on my diet because they don't understand why people do this. I assure you, if you read enough books, and that's why I have this thing called Body by Books, I talk about the books that I read that informed me on the subject of this, and I would highly recommend the books that I have you read. But anyways, that is the biscuit, and you can see by comparison to my hands that it is not a small biscuit. It is quite sufficient, and it makes a great sandwich bun, which is what I do because I had my pulled pork from the other day in the refrigerator. And, yep, I made another mistake right here. This is where I try and pull it off with my bare hands right out of the oven, and it hurts a lot, and I'm stupid, but I can assure you my fingers only got a little bit burnt. So don't do that. Do the other stuff that I did, but not that. Maybe. I don't know. I would just keep an eye out for that, and maybe just put a little fork in it to see if it's done, which I did not do that either, but I did cut it in half while burning my fingers yet again. You cannot hear me screaming, but I assure you I am right here. And you can cut that open. It looks kind of like, it's almost like a croissant biscuit, like a croissiscuit, if that's a thing. I'm sure that one of these major food chains is going to come up with that, call something a croissiscuit. So I'm going to coin that term first, but I'm also calling these crumbly bums. So you can call this a croissiscuit, a biscuit, or crumbly bum. I don't care. That is up to you to name your whatever these things are. And again, it is super cheesy on the inside, so it doesn't necessarily look done, but it's full of cheese, and everything is cooked. Got my little pork right here, and I found some. Oh, this is where I totally try and plate it right in front of you, but instead of doing it where it was totally focused, I'm totally off camera, so you can see the meat slowly getting put on there. And unfortunately, I need to figure this stuff out, man. But anyways, back to the video. I went and got my coleslaw, the chipotle. There we go. I fixed it. See, now it looks good. No one will have been the wiser. You throw in some more of that coleslaw. You put it down, and you're gonna want to take a bite of this sandwich, and you're gonna realize that it tastes really, really good, and you're not gonna care, and you're gonna eat like half the sandwich in like one bite, and then take a couple more bites. And in honor of Babish, or Babs as I call him now, I'm gonna give you guys a sweet cross section right here. There's your cross section. But that is the sandwich, and then I think I finish it later, but it was really, really good. Thanks for playing, guys. Let me know what I should make next. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, share. I've got all sorts of recipes that I want to share with you, and I'm just trying to continue to make as much content as possible. Again, this is all off the cuff for this, so if it was weird or staggered, that was on purpose, but also not. But yeah, I will catch you guys on the next one. I have a cold brew one coming up, but I decided to have this one made first since I did just make that pulled pork, and it needed a biscuit. You know, when you just need a biscuit, that's what that was. So, again, thanks for playing. Doing this for you guys too. If you have any questions or whatever, send them my way. Anyways, I'm out.